So, what if your biggest rival was also your most important partner? I know, it sounds like a complete paradox, right? But it's actually a winning strategy, and it's called coopetition. In this explainer, we're going to break down how collaborating with your enemy can be the smartest move you'll ever make. Let's dive in.
All right, so how on earth is this even possible? Well, it all kicks off with one single, kind of mind-bending question that gets right to the heart of this entire strategy.
No, seriously, think about that for a second. The very company you're fighting against for market share, for talent, for customers, could they also be your most critical ally? It sounds completely nuts, but as we're about to see, this is exactly how the biggest players in the game are winning. And look, there is no better example of this than Apple versus Samsung. I mean, in our heads, they are locked in this global war for smartphone dominance, right? But behind the scenes, Apple absolutely relies on Samsung to manufacture the incredible displays and complex chips that are basically the heart and soul of the iPhone. So they're at war in the stores, but they're in a deep partnership in the factories. That is pure coopetition. Okay, so that's the what. Now let's talk about the why. Why are the world's smartest companies suddenly embracing this strategy? Well, it's because the rules of the game, they've completely changed. So let's actually put a name to it. Coopetition. It's that perfect blend of cooperation and competition. And let's be super clear here. This is not about being friendly. It's about being ruthlessly strategic. It's about figuring out where working together creates a much, much bigger pie so that you and your rival can then fight even harder for a bigger slice of it. You can kind of think of business relationships on a spectrum. You know, on one end, you've got pure head-to-head rivals like Coke and Pepsi. On the total opposite end, you've got pure partners, like that classic Wintel alliance between Intel and Microsoft. Coopetition carves out this powerful middle ground, a third way of doing business where you get to be both at the same time. So what's driving this huge shift? Well, it's a few massive forces, really. The cost of research and development is just skyrocketing. Technologies like AI are way too complex for any one company to master alone. And we're now living in a platform economy, where shared ecosystems are way more valuable than any single product. In this new world, collaboration isn't just a nice option, it's a requirement for survival. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's see how this stuff actually works out in the wild. We're going to look at some really powerful, real-world examples. Let's start with Tesla. A few years back, they did something that looked completely insane. They opened up all their electric vehicle patents for their competitors to use, totally free. I mean, why on earth would a company just give away its technological crown jewels like that? Because it was an absolutely genius move. See, Tesla knew their real competitor wasn't another EV company, it was the internal combustion engine, the gas-powered car. So by helping their rivals build better EVs, they accelerated the entire industry's shift away from gasoline. This grew the entire market, it shaped government regulations, and it cemented their charging technology as the standard. They basically became a key player in energy infrastructure, not just a car company. They worked with their rivals to defeat a much bigger common enemy. All right, here's another high-stakes example, this one from the world of artificial intelligence. You've got Google and IBM, and they are locked in a fierce battle to own the future of AI platforms and services. But behind the scenes, they are literally building that future together. They're collaborating on the fundamental building blocks, things like open-source frameworks, AI ethics, even research on quantum computing. Think about that. They are competing fiercely for today's customers while jointly building the stadium that everyone is going to play in tomorrow. That is some next-level strategy.
Okay, so we've seen what it is, we've seen why it works. Now for the big question, how do you actually do it? Let's open up the strategic playbook.
First things first, you have to be totally clear-eyed about the trade-offs here. The benefits are massive, right? You get to share risk, you innovate faster, you develop a bigger market for everybody. But the risks are just as real. You could leak your intellectual property, you might create a power imbalance, or even attract legal trouble. So make no mistake, this is a high-stakes game.
Now, if you're looking for one simple rule to guide your thinking, this is it. This is really the core principle. You collaborate on the things that are about infrastructure, cost, and scale. Setting a technical standard, building a supply chain. But you compete fiercely on the things the customer actually sees and feels, your branding, the user experience, the service. So how do you put this into practice? Okay, step one, you draw sharp lines. You collaborate on foundational stuff, like infrastructure. Step two, you compete ferociously on the customer experience and your brand. Then, step three, and this is critical, you build legal firewalls to protect your most valuable IP. And finally, step four, you build trust. But not on friendship. You build it on mutual dependency.
by designing the partnership so that both of you absolutely need it to win.
Okay, so let's zoom all the way out. What does all this mean for the future of business? Where is this powerful trend actually taking us?
And you got to understand, this isn't just some tech trend. I mean, from building clean energy grids to sharing healthcare data, the biggest challenges we face now actually require coopetition. This way of thinking is becoming the new normal across pretty much every major industry.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. The old model was all about being a lone wolf, dominating a market all by yourself. The new model? It's about being an ecosystem leader. The most powerful companies today are the ones that can shape the entire industry to their advantage, and that often means working with your rivals to get it done.
So at the end of the day, the conversation is no longer about if you should work with your rivals. It's about where and how. The true test of modern leadership is being able to be a fierce competitor and a trusted collaborator at the exact same time. So the final question is for you. Are you ready to play both games at once?